heart? No.
That's the heart there. That's its lungs.
Oh, okay.
If it was a deer, I'd eat that. That's the liver. Make sure you want to check to make sure it's a spleen, bile sac.
What are you doing?
Checking the liver. See how the liver's clear, no spots in it. Tie a knot in it, so you don't have any food contaminate your meat. Yeah, cut the throat out. We'll try to. Your knife is sharp.
Why are we doing this one?
Because the throat holds food and saliva, so by getting the throat out, there we go, that's it. Please get sinew. There you go. One side.
from urine?
No, that's milk.
Oh, okay.
Just gotta be careful not to cut that or it'll fall off.
Mm-hmm. So normally in wild, cut the stomach, remove the gut, and then cut like this, and then take the leg out.
No, it's a
Different way.
completely different method.
Oh, okay.
You wouldn't touch the guts doing that method unless you were trying to take the heart and lungs out. Or the heart to eat, I mean.
What knife are you using? Is it for a skinning knife?
Nah, it's just an all-round standard knife.
Okay.
It's a proper skinny knife with a bit more of a rounded tip. But it's been sharpened to be similar.
Wow. Around these parts, when you're skinning, no need to worry about too much. Just cut the white stuff.
Yeah, so it's just what's holding the skin to the body.
Okay.
You don't have to worry about putting holes in it when it's just for meat or something like that, unless you wanted the skin
Okay.
for tanning or something. But let's not worry about that. Make as much mess as you want with it. So that's the start of the bullet trauma, or that there.
Bull trauma.
Bullet trauma from where the bullets hit the goat.
Oh, okay.
So
That's called bullet trauma.
Yeah, it'll get worse once I expose some more of the wound. But that's what kills the animal.
Is it impossible to make both trauma?
Pardon?
Is it impossible to make it like without that?
If you used like a 22, you could get away with a lot less, or a headshot.
Okay.
But anything around the front shoulders or neck will do that.
And on that part, is it effect to eating?
You don't eat it,
Okay.
because you'll have bits of bullet fragments, bone fragments, and blood. And you don't want to eat that because it'll be nasty.
Okay.
That's why you have a pet dog.
Yeah.
Just feed that to the dog.
So after we skin it, are we gonna just cut that the bullet trauma part?
Well, most of the front end will go to the dog,
Okay.
because this goat's not that good at eating. The other goat would have been the good one to eat. But
If you take the leg, would you take the front leg too, or only back leg?
if it was a really good goat, yeah, you might take the front legs, but
If it's not, usually back leg.
yeah, just the back leg.
If I want to cut the neck, can I push everywhere around the neck, or is there some?
There's a vertebrae there I'm trying to hit.
Oh, okay. Wow, nice.
Just chuck that on the back, that's what's wrong with it. Pretty much skinned out the goat. I guess the only way to make it slightly cleaner would be to
Is it so? These parts and then the bullet trauma is all gonna be the dog food.
well, that'll just get thrown away. But
Even the dog can't eat.
no, dog can eat that, but like the legs,
Okay.
the feet, it won't bother eating. And then just scrape as much of the hair off as you can.
After skin it,
Hey,
How you going?
not too bad.
Hello, beautiful. Hello.
She's just reading the bell.
oh yeah, okay. After we skin it in the bush, if we skin it in the bush, can we rinse the whole body in the fresh water?
Nah.
Just here to read the pound meter.
Oh, that's all good.
Come on,
Well-
the other way.
Well, we can't wash because of the flavor.
No, because you can put bacteria on it.
Okay.
Because the fresh water has bacteria in it and it introduces it to the meat.
Mm-hmm. Yummy.
Have a good day.
Same with you.
You too. So now we're gonna cut all the parts separate.
So that's all your bullet damage there, and that's because it's right at the base of the kneecap.
Oh, okay.
Below the spine blows the spine apart, so instant death.
Let's find some.
But you can eat that leg. Like there's probably nothing wrong with it, but it's just
Is it because too chewy or because it's
old, so
smell?
old, so it won't taste as nice, and
Okay.
the dog's going to appreciate that more than a human would.
Yeah.
So this is the back steaks. Run the knife right down the spine. Sort of like when you filleting a fish.
Oh, okay.
But like it's very tiny on a goat compared to a deer. So like on a deer or a pig, that's the most prized bit of meat normally. Is this bit of meat right here.
This butchering skill is can use for the deer and pig as well.
Yeah, any four-legged animal.
Okay.
Tar, chamois, sheep. But well, sheep you might do it differently if they're fat enough, because you'll want like your chops, which will include those ribs there, and you'll leave this in, and like even a T-bone steak for a cow.
Oh.
So a T-bone steak is like, oh no, sorry, is it T-bone? Not a T. Anyway, the one tomahawk, sorry.
Okay.
Your tomahawk will have a steak of this, and then the bone. But for wild game, it's normally very similar because it's not quite as, or it's too dry or something to do it quite the same as like a farmed animal.
So the meat that you're removing is the backbone.
Back steak.
Back steak.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's for like you. On a deer, you'd make steak out of it, but for a goat, it's a bit, it's a bit tiny to make proper steaks. No eating.
So that's for us.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a lot harder with only one leg hanging up. Because normally you have like a gamble or like a double hook, so that leg's strung up as well. And then you can make it so it won't spin quite as much. But like ideally the other goat would have been the better one to shoot.
Yeah.
Because this was the mother, so it's not as fat because all that milk there was still feeding it. Even though that was like a year-old goat, this goat was still feeding it. Well, you'd make a stir fry with that or something.
And what are we doing now?
Removing the back leg.
Okay.
So you got your pelvis bone here. You cut right into there. So that's where the anus and the vagina are. It's in that cavity there. So Again, you fillet him like a fish around the bone. There's a hip bone and a hip joint in here you want to cut right there. That's how the leg moves, because that ball socket joint. And there's one back leg removed.
Nice.
And then just the same thing on this side. These ball joints again.
Nice.
And then that's all dog food there, so that there.
Back leg.
Let's get the eggs. Oh.
So you're gonna make a chunk for the dog food.
So that'd be one meal for a dog. So like if you're buying dog food, that's like the brisket. So you've got like beef brisket or lamb brisket for your dog.
Oh.
Or like if you're going to eat brisket off a cow.
If you're gonna serve to the people, are we also cutting same way like this?
If you were going to serve a brisket, you'll cut straight down there and then... You're right, dog? Yeah, so the brisket will be like cut down there and then...
Oh, okay. But it's so hard. How are you gonna cut it? Because you smash with the eggs or?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you were doing it for people, you would use a hacksaw.
Hacksaw. Okay. Or hand saw?
Yeah, handsaw, same thing. See, that's all your bullet damage there.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, 100% colonisation of that goat minus the skin. So this is like that chamois leg I gave you, where it didn't have the bone on it.
Mm. Which part called lamb shanks?
That bit right there, but it's so small on a goat.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where your lamb shank comes from.
Mm. It's really good. People like lamb shanks.
So like if I was doing deer shanks or something,
Mm-hmm.
you would leave the meat on there. But there you go.
Nice.
Boned out back leg.
Oh, awesome.
Ready to cook with.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I can show you what the shank will look like if you were going to actually have a shank.
Okay.
Like if you had a good fat goat, you could maybe do it, but there's not much meat there on the shank.
Yeah, true.
That's why it's better on like a sheep or a deer,
Mm-hmm.
or even a pig, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you never really see pig shanks for sale.
Oh, I never heard pig shank.
Or they might do it with like the pig feet.
Probably.
And then, so that's the other back leg.
Mm-hmm.
And that joint. Joint. What's up? Oh, okay.
Very tough. I think we better to use the X just to cut.
It's dog food, but that's just like if I was,
Maybe one ram shank we cut like this.
but not on dirty surface or with hair. That's what you.
Oh, that's nice.
That's what it would be, but dog food.
Yeah, it's too small.
Too small. I'll just put it up that way for me. There you go. That's
Alright, it's done. So quick.